Hello out there, Ruthless Nation. The time is now. Season 3 is upon us, and it is the Pro Series. You know, our main event here in the Ruthless Racing Series. These guys will be taking on Atlanta, the old configuration here in the next-gen cars. And I'm telling you, this is a star-studded field. Some of the best drivers currently on Heat 5 active racers are out here in this field, and some guys have came back from not racing for a while to join Ruthless and maybe a couple other leagues out there at the moment. So it's going to be exciting to see how this all shapes up in the end. Okay, we got Luke up in here. It's happening. Thanks to everybody who's going to join tonight. Make sure you like that stream, as always. Much appreciated. And I do believe we're getting close to that join message, as those guys were wrapping up qualifying over there. It looks like they got a few seconds left, and I will be joining. Alright. Alright, should be able to join. Alright, so hopefully we catch the first lap this week. Last week at Bristol, we did not have that. We didn't have that much success at catching the first one. At the moment, you are the only viewer. I was watching the stream, so I joined before Hollywood's message. So good on me, bad on Hollywood. Oh, Luke, don't worry, man. You're just the first one. There will be many more like you eventually. There you go. Got a few more coming through. Skew car might be through in a minute. MJ Brass going to be on the front. MJ Brass. I hear it both ways, so that's what we'll say, MJ Brass. He's going to start off on the pole for us tonight. Typical, getting down very quickly there in front of the 31 of Hollywood. A lot of new numbers out here. J-Wow is back. We had him a little bit last season. He's back out here in the 23. The 12 is JCR Clashing. The 99, a Speed Clinic. That would be Billy Holcomb. Henson in the 18. Alex is out here, hot seat driver this week in the 77. Kill It Like Jason out here in the 15 Ford. The 8 of DK Brown. The 1 of TCR Tyler. The 48 and Ruthless veteran now, Shepard. Oh, 77 up into the wall there of Alex. It's going to be a little bit of trouble for him. He's got Big Ben out here in the 45. Death Before Dishonor back out here in the 24. Dunlap, once again, back in his 9 car. And we're getting shaky down here on the low side of this one. Thanks everybody who's joining. Please remember to like the stream. As we sit, MJ Brass is the leader. Yes, typical right behind him there in the 5. Back-to-back Ruthless champion. Then Hollywood, series co-owner and race director. They're in the 31, and this is a star-studded field. A lot of these guys are some of the best on the game. A lot of guys have a lot of these drivers on, their best drivers list. So it's interesting to see. Oh, we got contact back there with the 1 car. Or it might have been the 99. Nope. Unfortunately, Alex has found a lot of trouble early. So we're pretty much in a straight line up at the front of the field. I'm trying to find that car that hit the wall just a moment ago. I thought it was a 1 car, but I could have been wrong. Didn't think I saw a 1 car. Could have been that 7. Oh, no, there it is. It's TCR Tyler. Yeah, we got quite the group out here. I'll give us an actual count we have 18 drivers out here this evening. So there you go. This is the largest Pro Series field that we have fielded here in the Ruthless Racing Series. So there's another historic moment for us tonight. Thanks to everybody who's joining. MJ Bross still is your leader. He started up there and he is staying up there. Him and Typical have been nose to tail ever since Typical snapped down in front of Hollywood on the very beginning of this race. The top 8 or so have figured it out. They're all running in a nice solid straight line. And I imagine these guys will hang out for quite a bit, as 2 pit stops will be required in every single stage. And we have the new pitting rules where we go down on the apron and stay below the yellow line to pit. And all those things will be looked for here tonight for black flags and stuff like that. And that's one thing we'll be trying to watch as they happen tonight, are the pit stops. Alright, so we've got quite the line up front. Alex had a lot of problems there earlier, just getting slow up into the wall off of 2. Kill It Like Jason trying to catch back up with TCR Tyler on his tail. And then we go all the way back here, that's led by Death Before Dishonor. Kenrod also a part of this group, new to the Ruthless Racing Pro Series, as he done very well last week, winning a stage and finishing second in our Bristol Dirt Clash. As we're looking at 42 laps remaining here in stage number 1. And like I said, we have those 2 required pit stops. And we will try to keep an eye on the lap counts to see about how long these guys are going to keep going. I imagine here about the next 8 laps we'll start seeing some difference and get some guys down on the pit lane. Thanks to everybody who's in the chat. If you are interested in joining Ruthless Racing, make sure you join our Discord. I think SKUcard just posted it today. So if that's something that you're interested in, join the Discord. Everybody that you would need to get in contact with is over there. So looks like the front few here have got it figured out to just hanging out. And it's kind of the plate aspect of Atlanta that you get, especially in these cars. I just feel like they run so well down towards the bottom, and something that you don't see in a lot of league racing on here at Atlanta is a driver staying up towards the wall on the backstretch. A lot of people are very protective and drive as low as possible. And, all these guys, they understand that's not really the most beneficial way to run this track. It's obviously a part of the track that you could attack from later on in a race or something, and I'm positive that somebody would be more protective of that lower line. As you can see, MJ up there, he kindly protects it with about half his bumper, letting Typical know, hey, if you do start to go down there, I'm going to be there, so let's not do that. And it seems like these top 3, haven't moved much since the beginning of this race. And I imagine it won't move much until we start hitting that pit road. And that is the challenge. That's where this race will be won and lost, is right there on pit road, as those guys enter down on the apron before turn 3. Once again, thanks to everybody who's joined us so far tonight. Make sure if you're sticking around, like that stream for us. Greatly appreciate it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. A lot of things go on here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. Anything from shorts, videos on other racing games, or real racing in real life. And then obviously our live stream league races that we're experiencing right now. The first race of season 3 in the Pro Series. Largest field ever assembled for the Pro Series here at Ruthless of 18 drivers tonight. And it's all going down right here at Atlanta. Old configuration. Alright, so we got a little bit of, got something coming from MJ here. So we're going to see a pit from the 4 early. And don't see anybody else joining them. Looks like he gets a pretty good clean pit. I think everybody else is staying out. So we got a lot of guys going down pit road. I've missed some pit stops here. And, oh, that's not going to be a black flag there for the 5. That's going to be the 31 getting up into him. Oh, we got a big spin, and that's just going to be an unfortunate crash right there at the beginning of pit road. I happened right in front of Hollywood. I'm sure he has all the information on that. So we got a lot of guys figuring out that pit road quite quickly. Good thing we're figuring all this out on the first stop of the day. So we have pit under green. Kenrod still got her out there. Maybe just put it out of the pits, I should say. Alright, so we've got a mess on pit road. All these guys who came in. And hopefully Typical didn't get too messed up from that contact with Hollywood. Could have been lag, very possible, but I thought I seen Hollywood with a little damage. Dub pits. Try. Oh, that could have been lag. Not gonna get on that. Oh, we got some cars coming through, cycling through. Also got some cars still on pit road. I'm hoping maybe the end of the day for Kill It Like Jason. I think it might be. Alright, so we cycled back around out of the pits now. And we'll take a quick look. Should have been MJ that came back out. No, it's going to be, I guess, Typical up there along with Billy. So that is interesting on the first cycle of pit stops. MJ actually pitting before everyone else, and obviously that didn't really benefit him much as Typical came out with the lead. 2 spots lost for MJ there. Big winner might have been Henson as he's now cycled up to 4th. Hollywood loses a spot through this cycle. And he might be battling some damage towards the end of this stage. Another pit stop still required. And this is the top 4 as they may start looking to break away a little bit. So we still got 29 laps left here in stage number 1. And that could bring in some strategy. Someone could short pit and go for the long run at the end here, just depending on how much fuel some of these guys took. 18 laps is pretty much what you're going to get out of that car. So right now, not looking too good there. These cars do not sound as they do for real when you're racing them. They kind of sound a little bit lackluster. and then sometimes it just doesn't work. So it's a heat 5 issue. Apologize. I also think I heard someone asking about the engine sound in Tuesday's event. All right, so this is your top 4. That is typical in the 5, the 99, the Speed Clinic, or otherwise known as Billy. The 4 of MJ Brass and Brass. I'm gonna ask the man himself. And then Henson there in the 18. All right, so Hollywood now gets passed by the 12. So we look back through the field. There's Eneltown, your Pro-Am champion last season, has made the move up to the Pro Series. Hey, Big T, we just went through the first green flag pit stop of the day. We had a little bit of shuffling going on pit road, but for the most part, wasn't too bad. Looks like Dunlap might be battling some personal lag issues. Hoping that's what that is. Kenrod running good there with the 3-car pack. I'm going to try to stay on here with 3rd place. Henson just riding it out for the moment back there in 4th. So we're starting to come up on Big Ben here in the 45. That would be your slow car. He will eventually become lap traffic if he hasn't already. So your 2-time back-to-back Ruthless Racing Pro Series champion takes the lead on the first cycle of pit stops. MJ here in the 4, he pitted early, a lap earlier than these guys, and lost 2 spots. So I'm not sure what happened. Maybe just not a clean pit or something of that sort. Typical going to use that slower car now for a little bit of draft to get down into 3 and 4. And your top 4 are still together. The 45 gets a little tight coming off of 4. But he will now just try to get in behind these guys and just stay in relative distance to that leader. Hollywood is back here behind 5th and 6th. Him and the 12 trying to get up to that front pack, but that is a line of 4 cars just absolutely glued together. That's now 5 cars, as Big Ben is hanging with the group. I think Typical just got bumped up the track a little bit, but there was a good little crash there at pit road, I think. Right, so the top 4, the 4 that you see in the front here are all on the lead lap. 45 is a lap down. So we like to go throughout the field, but everybody's just kind of sitting in their own little packs. But we could see this pack here being tailed by G-Dog. We're going to start catching a couple guys here in a moment. G-Dog and Shepherd, Eneltown. And I'm not sure who that was ahead of them. It's J-Well there in that 23 car. Possibly the pit road, you know, won and lost at this track with the way it is being ran. Get on board with the 99 here, running second. Once again, the first 4 cars are all on the lead lap. And we still have one more pit stop to get through in this stage. 2 pit stops in every stage required, as we have already hit one of those under green. 17 laps remaining in the stage. That means if you pit now, you can make it. But not seeing really. Oh, we got the 77 Alex on pit road. So we got the 1 coming in. Tyler, 48 of Shepherd, 7 of Kinrod, getting a little bit out of shape there coming in. So it looks like he got in though after all. So all those guys are going for the strategy. Here goes Typical on pit road, as could be having some lag issues here. I cannot be the one to put the discrepancy on that. Oh, Hollywood spins around once again. Trouble on pit road. As I would have to see a car go way out of the way on the track there on the stream to even consider that being a problem, because I could never truly know. Hollywall, 100%. Alright, so we got a lot of guys down on pit road. They know they can make it, and you don't want to stay out too long. I feel like some of these guys do have a little bit left. Maybe Henson has not pit yet there. Alright, so we're starting to see these guys get off of pit road now. Henson now coming in. I believe it was along with Billy there. It was. That's Henson and, oh, the 45. My apologies. So Henson going to be the last car on the lead lap to hit pit road. And at this moment, I'm not sure where this will put the battle. Typical was on pit road fairly early. He could have climbed to a lead here. We'll check over on our stream. Looks like the 18 of Henson is the leader, as you see him coming off pit road right now. And this is going to be a pass for the lead. Henson going to have a good exit off of pit road right here. And he's not going to have that that momentum that he was really needing. I think Henson is going to be in danger of getting maybe passed up by the line behind him. That is a good line of those guys behind him there. We'll try to get on board with the one chasing down Henson. Go, MJ. Looks like he has the 12 of DK. I think that's who that is. Oh, sorry, Clashing. My apologies. And Billy there in the 99. So MJ, Clashing, and Billy are all trying to work up to the bumper of this 18. The 5 is currently the leader. So 1 lap earlier for Typical brings him out with a little bit of a gap for the lead. As we have 10 to go in stage number 1 now. Thanks everybody who's joined us here. Please like the stream, subscribe if you haven't done so. Always appreciated. Right now on the screen are the guys chasing for the top spot and Typical. So that group catches Henson but does not opt to pass him, but more or less work with them, and they quickly catch Typical, and it's going to be a battle as we got 9 to go now. I imagine we start seeing that low line start to get a little bit protected and maybe a little bit used. Oh, here we go. They're going to go down. Typical will not have the clearance. I didn't think he probably didn't think they were going to go down there, but Henson going to take the lead here as Typical is in trouble, as he will probably drop back to 5th here, getting loose as the 12 of Clashing is able to get it back in order up there in 3rd. Typical files into the top 5 now. MJ in the 4 car right there behind Henson. We got 8 to go in stage number 1, and I imagine it's going to start getting dicey. So Typical's going to have to start working back up the field, but one by one, mistake after mistake that happens in front of him. All right, so we've been on board with that 4 for a while, but let's get over to our leader in the 18th of Henson. He's going to get passed up into the inside by MJ, your pole sitter, and he led some great laps up into that first green flag stop earlier on in this one, getting a good push from Clashing and Billy. That will bring Typical back up to the 4th position and cycle Henson back to 5th as he still battles a little bit door to door with the 5 of Typical. Typical is going to be hung out to the low side on this one. These guys are going to be back down in front of Typical on the low side, but Henson going to clear and take over 4th place. Maybe a little help from out of the throttle there for Typical. So we're getting down to it here in stage number 1. Typical way up the track there in 5th position. So let's get back up to our leader now in the 4. MJ Brass. This time by, we will have 4 to go. In stage number 1, the 12 getting shuffled back to 5th now. That moves Henson up to 3rd. Typical still working a little bit up on the high side, maybe trying to create a little bit of space for the back stretch. MJ been strong most of the day though. Pit strategy is what's lost him the lead. But this time it's race strategy getting him back up front. Diving it down to the inside goes Typical. Going to leave Henson to the outside. We're going to have 3 to go in stage number 1 this time by. The 99 of Speed Clinic, or other known as Billy. He's pushing hard up there on the 4. Can only imagine that a move will be made rather soon. The 9 is slow traffic, going to get down below the yellow, out of the way, as these guys are racing for a stage win. Henson now back to 5th position. It's been quite the shuffle up front here since the pit stop. 2 to go this time. It's been quite the battle. I imagine Typical is going to try to pull something out of his hat, as it is 2 to go. He tries to go inside, quick block there by the 99 of Billy. When we come by this time, it'll be the last lap for all the marbles in stage number 1 in the first stage of season 3. 1 to go. Let's see what kind of big moves happen. It's the 4 of MJ Brass up front with Billy behind. Typical in 3rd, Henson 4th, and Clashing in 5th in that 12 car. Looking like everybody's taking a little bit easy to the outside. Go Henson and Typical. Maybe just a bluff for the moment as we're coming out of 4, still in a straight line. To the outside goes Typical, maybe trying to steal one more point by the end of this stage. To the inside goes the 99, but not going to be able to get it done. The 4 of MJ Brass will take home the first stage of season 3 from Atlanta. Man, what some awesome action that was after that second green flag stop. Only more action to come here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel, though. Hang in there, as these pit stops and stage break is brought to you by none other than the GOAT Skew Car. Wasn't able to find the stage results, but nonetheless on the point for this stage is MJ and Typical. So we'll look back from behind to see if anything happens throughout the field. Looks like one car, not sure which one, is way back there on this start. Not going to be a good start to their stage 2. A lot of cars in the back protective of that low line. A lot of guys in the front understand they would much rather have that top side abrasiveness for the start here. And I'm really upset with this engine noise. All right, so Hollywood trying to find a spot to squeeze in there. Not going to happen. Hollywood, start of his stage number 2, is going to find him filing way back here. Not going to be able to find a spot to get into the 45. Going to be a little bit gracious there. He's got Alex of 77 pushing up on him. These guys could work together now, and they could catch up back to this group to start maybe ticking off some positions. Good 5-car group there. JWoww is back in the 23. Looked like he had a rough start with the pit stops, but now he finds himself running up here in 6th position, right behind Clashing. Speaking of Clashing, there he is right there in front of JWoww. And then behind Henson, back up to Billy, who's running 3rd. So it looks like everybody's staying together a little bit more this restart. Kill it like Jason Motor not going to make it to the end tonight. That's what I imagined it was in start of the pit stops there in stage 1. Looked like Dunlap was that car dropping towards the rear, maybe for a little bit of the lag issue that he's experiencing. All right, so I imagine that we're going to see a lot of the same in this stage. Everybody kind of hanging out for that first pit stop, maybe finding their own groups towards the second pit stop. A little bit of a shorter stage here, so that second pit stop could be for some less fuel, and we could probably see some fast laps start getting ticked off here at the end of this stage. .24 racing fan in the house, former die-cast winner and card winner. And caution. Oh, big pile up here on the backstretch. 23-31, the 1. All a part of that one. That was a huge crash. Unfortunately, I did not see that. Because we were up front, but that's going to be the first caution of the day. And that is going to be early on in stage number 2. I don't imagine that will affect the amount of pit stops that will have to be made here in this stage. I think we'll probably still be looking at 2 required stops for this stage. We will get that lap count right here on this restart. Alright, so Typical takes over the point now. MJ to the outside, 9 off to the side to get everybody around them. And right now, the laps left in this stage are 42, so we're certainly going to see those 2 stops still required. Alright, so this restart getting a little dicey. Typical stays on the point. That 4 car of MJ, he got shuffled to the outside, and he's going to start dropping back. He's going to start looking for a spot to get in. The 20, right behind the 24, maybe about his only chance right in front of Hollywood. He gets there. Hollywood right back to the inside of the 4, though. And the 4 right back into order once again. So JWoww finds himself all the way back here. Clashing up to 2nd. I guess Typical got shuffled out. Back to 4th now. Henson, your leader. DK Brown there in the 8. We're 4 wide here down the backstretch. Hollywood in the middle, don't really know where to go. Still 3 wide. He's going up on the 48, but he gets back in the order up on the high side. That was not what they wanted to happen right there. That was 4 wide all the way down that back stretch. All right, so the battle for the lead starting to heat up a little bit up there, it seems like. Typical finds himself in 4th at the moment. Being tucked in by Billy in the 99. MJ goes back quite a bit there from the restart. On board with Henson, our leader. So everybody's on those fresh tires and everything now, so that changes the amount of laps that we're going to get to. It'll be still 18, but we'll have that one stop. And then another with 3,200 RPM. That is insane. What is going on? I guess it's fair that we do at least have some engine noise. 16 people in here watching us. Season 3, Race 1 from Atlanta. Thanks to all of you all who have showed up for us tonight. Please like the stream if you don't mind. And if you're new here, please press that subscribe button. I'm sure there's something here racing related that we do on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel that you would enjoy. Right now, we're just watching everybody kind of take it easy up front, as they're trying to get to those 2 required pit stops. I'm sure that we're going to, like I said, see some possible strategy and all that take place there at the end of this stage. Could see some 2 tires, maybe some guy a little crazy wants to try that. Could even see no tires possibly. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. I mean, no tires at Atlanta, that would be like the ballsiest move ever. I don't know how you had that much left. But certainly right sides for some of these guys could be a possibility. Get enough of a lead with little enough laps to where it wouldn't matter. Right now the top 5 are just trying to separate themselves from the rest of this field. The back half of the top 5, the back half of the top 10, are trying to stick together and stay relevant to this front pack. They need a little help from those 4 cars straggling just behind. Yeah, Redneck Jesus is in the chat. Is his birthday today, so shout out to Redneck Jesus. Happy birthday to him. And what better gift on your birthday than Season 3 Pro Series? We got Squeaks in the chat. Up to 100 comments on the stream. 13 people watching us. It's a good deal out here tonight. Good to see everybody coming in for a little bit of Atlanta action in Season 3. DK Brown in that 8, still hanging on to 3rd. Like he stole it. So get a little bit of that diffuser bouncing off the ground there out of 2. Or into 1, I'm sorry. They were coming out of 2 when I said that. Interesting. So we have someone calling for some wrecks. You've been here. We had one just a moment ago. Yeah, the engine noise just disappears. I swear, it sounds like a merry lawnmower, you know. So I'm cutting the grass. Pop off, get your grass cut. NASCAR Heat 5 Atlanta noises. $200 horsepower package. I'm with that. We got some guys on pit road. 45 of Big Ben is down there. Not quite the evening that he wanted out here. 17 of G-Dog into the pits. Alright, so typical up chilling in fourth. Billy is now out of the picture. He looks like he has dropped back a significant amount. So has Hollywood. Jaywell has made it to the pits, so that's going to possibly play into that strategy. Maybe cutting some stuff in half. So we'll get back over here to our lap counting stream. It's got 28 laps remaining here in this stage. So if someone was to pit right now, they'd have to pit again with about 10 laps to go. So if I'm somebody maybe trying that 2-tire strategy, you know, just fuck that engine noise. What the fuck? But anyways, somebody tries to run that 2-tire strategy, you want to run it as long as possible right here. If maybe that's what somebody's gunning for. The 4 fresh tires will certainly be dominant, but they would need enough time to take 4 tires and catch back up. See G-Dog getting passed by all the cars who have not pit yet. He tucks into where 5th position would be, as he has another pack getting up on him. I think he might have slowed down the front pack just enough to help that large pack coming up from behind. That is led by MJ. We're going to see the 12 go into pit, the 18 as well, coming down on the apron. Got a few more going. Oh, bumped up by the 11 was the 24. That will not be a problem. Alright, so those guys are door to door. Everybody else out here. I imagine we're going to see the 8 of DK go down to pit. Typical going to run it out here in this stage. He might be looking for that 2-tire strategy towards the end of this stage. That will be G-Dog getting that lap back. Hollywood's still out here on the track. Jaywell back on the track after his first pit stop at stage number 2. And now we will see a lot of guys coming off pit road now, as they get replaced by a few more. Alright, so guys coming back off pit road. A lot of guys still on. That 8 of DK felt like maybe was down there a little long. Alright, I got stuck. Alright, here we go. MJ, oh, maybe got pushed up there a little bit. Oh, we got guys all over the place. That was not a successful merge. That was not a successful merge. It happened right in front of Hollywood. They'll resolve that, I'm sure, if anything is amiss. So Typical now has pit. He is coming off pit road. He's going to try to make that as clean as possible, but don't think that's going to matter. There goes the 12 of Clash and the 18 of Henson. And now it will be on Typical to run these guys down. TCR Tyler in the 1 moves up to 4th position now. Then followed in by Hollywood. So these 3 are going to try to push up to those 2 up front. Get on board with Clash and your new leader. As you see, these guys are really trying to chase these 2 down. Not a lot of help between the front 2 cars, so I imagine it won't be long before we have quite the party of cars once again for the front. Still one more pit required. Could be a strategic pit. Some guys could split this part of the stage in half. Some guys could run this as long as possible and go for that 2-tire stop. It's going to be interesting to see how guys decide to finish this stage, what strategy a lot of these guys are going to use. And honestly, I thought these guys would get caught a little quicker than they are, but that is not happening. But it is coming together back there. Man, just these engine noises, brutal. Sounds like you're watching on like an international stream. Absolutely insane. It's brutal. Alright. So Typical is in third, and he is hauling the rest of the top 5 with him. +1. So they are now caught up to the leaders. See the 9 of Dunlap just having those issues. Going to get out of the way. That's so sick. Alright, so Typical is now caught up to the bumper of Henson, working to the outside. Does not have the help of the other cars as once before. Kind of split off into a 3v3 battle now. And Typical kind of left those guys behind him. Typical is battling hard here before their second pit stop's going to happen. He's really working on the bumper of that 18. We've got 17 laps remaining here in stage number 2. So people could pit and make it, although that might not be the preferred method. I imagine that we will see a lot of guys take some odd strategies you might not consider orthodox at Atlanta. I think the 45 on pit road, okay. Dunlap going down pit road now. Alright, so we're on board with the 4 of MJ Brass. Fourth place. In the 4 car, Hollywood rounding up the top 5 in the 31, and then the 1 of TCR Tyler is in 6th, and that is all that is a part of the front. Typical still hanging out in 3rd as Clashin leads us, still after those pit stops. Speaking of the next gen cars there in the chat, yes, I feel like the next gen car has evened up the competition a little bit. And yeah, it's hard to pass, hard to get around. And if you want to get around somebody, you just got to be clearly faster and willing to make that move to make the pass. And that's really what it all comes down to here. As I'm very interested in how this top 6 are going to break down their pit strategies. Let's get on board with, we got J-Well down pit road with Kenrod. 48 of Shepard is down pit road. It'll be Hollywood coming down for pit road. It's the 1 of TCR Tyler. So we still have 4 out here on the track. So these guys are all still do a pit stop, and it's all going to come down to that strategy. So we got some guys down pit road. Henson decides to stay out here with Typical, and I think these two guys are going to run an odd strategy. Nope, Henson looking like he's going to try to maybe go down this time. That's what he will do. Typical will remain on track. As we have 11 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Once again, thanks to everybody who's watching us out here tonight on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. This is Ruthless Racing Pro Series Action Season 3, first race from Atlanta. Remember to like that stream for us. Greatly appreciated. Your presence is more appreciated than anything. And leave a comment down in the chat there. Maybe talk about something for the upcoming Cup race this weekend at Daytona. With a lot of playoff implications on the line. Must-win situation for a lot of guys out there to try to get in for the big dance. High Side Broadcasting in the house. Good to see you. I also have watched some High Side setups and stuff. All right, so we got Billy down pit road there. He's got DK with him. All right, so it's TCR Tyler. He was a part of that first pitting bunch. I'm trying to get back up here with MJ, see where everybody's at. It is the 5 of Typical that's the leader. So I wonder what kind of strategy we're going to be seeing come down to play here. So the 12 of Clashing is catching up to this 5. And I think that's Typical, who just hasn't pit yet, getting caught by that fresher tire. And I think Typical should probably be thinking about a pit stop maybe soon, and you know, maybe that 2-tire strategy. Nope, that's what he's going to do. Yeah, you get past, you need to get down on pit road as soon as possible. And there goes Typical down pit road. And that will be with 5 to go. And I can only imagine staying out like that. That's going to be the 2-tire strategy. Maybe a no-tire stop there for a 5 car. Looks like Clashing was the one that would be battling for the lead here, with quite the separation between him and anybody left. So you see the 5 just now coming off pit road. That strategy not going to work out there for that 5 car this time. Maybe these guys could still be a lap down. It's something that, you know, could be in play here. Typical could have got them 2 laps down. And I think that's what we're experiencing here with 4 to go. So we'll see what this battle for the lead ends up looking like. I believe Typical just had them down 2 laps. And most of them are just now getting back around. This could be something to see. I think the gap back to Typical is quite a gap. Like I said, taking the 4 tires, you know, could be beneficial in the lap times, but you got to have enough laps to catch that guy out there ahead of you. You know, Typical is just as good as any out here. And I figured that would be a strategy that someone would try to take to the bank. With 3 to go this time. As they went down the back stretch, we'll get to the line to take 2 to go in stage number 2. Typical still your leader with quite the gap. There is a line of them back there trying to work together. It's a good battle back here, though. It's the one of TCR Tyler trying to get worked on to the inside by Hollywood. Don't think that's going to happen. So Typical looking good here with 1 to go in the stage. Or that is the end of stage 2, I'm sorry. Got my laps mixed up. But Typical will be your stage 2 winner after I think MJ took stage number 1. Alright, so your stage 2 results are going to be Typical, MJ, let's see, Typical, MJ, Henson, Tyler, Hollywood rounding up your top 5, Billy, DK Brown, Alex, Ingletown, and Kenrod rounding up your top 10. Alright, so season 2 and pit stop, the end of stage 2 and pit stops are here because of Skew Car. So if you aren't a fan of Skew Car, get with it. Alright, so Typical, MJ Brass going to be on the point for stage number 3. The final stage for the first race of season 3 begins right now. 2 stops with the burnout rule tonight. And it'll be interesting if we stay green to see how the burnout rule takes place. There may not be enough fuel for someone to do that. We sound real good until we shift. And there we go. All right, looking like everybody is mostly orderly out here for this restart. Oh, we're going to have a little discrepancy here back towards the rear with Shepard. Going to get a little dicey right through there, but Shepard's going to just have to fall back. Dunlap with that issue all night, having to hang back. So 2 stops here in this stage, going to be 36 long runs at it, and then 36 long laps at it, and then a final 18 to get to the end. And that's with the burnout rule, folks. Sounds like my camera is like outside the racetrack somewhere. So Henson finds himself in 3rd for the moment. Hollywood in 4th with TCR Tyler there in 5th. Been a good race here from Atlanta. Got 2 different stage winners, both leading, or both at the front right now. Typical winning last stage, MJ the one prior. So 2 stages and 2 different stage winners. Could we see a different winner of the race? See a little bit of strategy there. Takes it home for Typical. But this stage is going to be all full length runs on your stop. So not really a lot of room for strategy there. As everybody's together still from the restart for stage number 3. Alex, the hot seat driver from the Pro-Am Series this week, out here running that 77 Camaro, as he finds himself just kind of towards the rear, hanging out, you know, just enjoying his track time. A lot of different implications for these guys ahead of them. Damn, that was the best engine noise we had all day. Did y'all hear that? So when will someone jump out of line? I imagine it would be very late in this one. As I said, it will be just it would just be 36 ran laps, 1 pit stop in that sequence. And then the last 18 is when I imagine we'll start seeing a lot of shiftiness happening throughout the field and the positioning and things like that. Maybe start seeing some guys, multiple guys, try to break out to the outside and make something happen late in this one. But for right now, we're kind of going to just be watching these guys try to make it without messing something up to those 2 required pit stops. As the voice of Ruthless Racing has not had that many cautions today. So we're going to have to use this live racing moment to take a drink break. Oh, well, maybe we're 3 wide here with Tyler into the inside. DK wants 3 wide again with Clashing and Billy there. So that resolves itself. That's the kind of talent that you see out here in the Pro Series. In many leagues, that would have been a major accident. That was a lot of moving going on there. If these guys kept it together. I want my drink break. What's going on? We got 17 viewers in here. These guys are putting on a show. You see your leader, Typical, still just kind of hanging on to that draft line. Get up here with him. That top 6 is pretty linked together. We've seen this before earlier on in stage number 2. Just guys kind of breaking out from the rest of the field, trying to make it to those pit stops. Little inside move here for the 12. So he's going to make that work. All right, so these guys are really putting it on for us tonight. All 14 of you out there currently, please like that stream for us and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of this awesome action that goes down right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. Put on races every Tuesday and Thursday in the NASCAR circuit. Tuesday would be our Pro-Am Series. As I said once, and I'll say it again, these guys are just trying to make it to those pit stops. And we're probably not far from a couple of those, maybe. A couple of those guys going down for that pit stop. As we look at our lap count for this time by, there's 42 remaining. I think we started this with 56 laps. So we're going to start seeing that pit road get some action. As I said, those 2 pit stops, that fuel is going to run out right at the end. The burnout may be a lost cause for whoever. They may be coasting her back to the start-finish line. we start seeing some pits. Caught me mid-drink. Yeah, pit stops. Alright, so the 5 of Typical going to go in for his stop. That's going to leave the 4 out. Little reverse strategy there between these two, other than the other stages. So right now it'll be MJ Brass, Billy Holcomb, DK Brown, Henson, and Hollywood still out there on the track. Typical comes down pit road with many other drivers. Hollywood going to say, yes, I will pit with the rest of these guys, the 8. That is going to happen right there with Hollywood. That's not going to be good, I don't think. Could have been a lag. Could have been, oh, 11. Big spin out there. Coming into pit road. Once again, I guess could have been a lag. I don't. That is a good assumption. Right. We do pit on the backstretch like real life. That is fact. That is what we do. It's one of the many different things we try to do here in the Ruthless Racing series. Alright, so Typical got on pit road first out of the leaders. This is the leaders here, and here comes Typical with Clashing there ahead of them. Alright, so I think that will make Clashing your leader, unless he had some kind of issue on pit road. That is your leader, Clashing, in the 12. So we'll see what, once this cycles through a little bit, we'll see how close they get back up to him here. Alright, so we got 4 cars kind of linking together back there. Jaywell, part of that group. So we'll get on board with him as we look. Typical getting a little bit of a push there from MJ. Clashing, I'm sorry, Jaywell to the inside. Tyler going to try to work with him. Now we're door to door, 2 by 2. Here moving up to second place. Not a lot of help there out of those guys. That'll move Jaywell and Tyler up ahead of Typical. As now the 4 of MJ going to the inside on Typical, and that will move him back to 5th place. And now we have the rest of the top 10 trying to join the fight. Henson, something happened on pit road. He is way back there in about 9th position. All right. Got some great racing going on there as they line up. All right, so that 12 car might be a little bit of a sitting duck now. Here is Clashing, no help. And a long line of race cars coming up behind them, led by no other than the other JCR guy, Jaywell. All right, so we're on board with second place, trying to catch that 12. May just work up behind them. And that's what they're going to do, is they catch him coming in right into turn number 1 there. It's a great place to file in. And no move to the low side. You see a lot of these guys up front, they don't like to use that low side, but back on through the pack, we have seen that. A lot of guys protective of that low side. Henson now kind of finds himself in no man's land, as he's going to try to work up to that car ahead of him. of Alex. Not sure if Alex is on the pace here. So far, 1 of 18 drivers have not made it this far. Oh, never mind. 2 of 18 drivers have not made it this far. Rest in peace, Dunlap. He did well. All right, this is going to be a full-on run for these guys. MJ Brass is in your car there, Mr. Superflow. Thanks to everybody who is watching us here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. This is your Pro Series Season 3 Race 1. Typical is in 4th now. As he found some space around Billy somewhere. Alright, so this is another one of those stretches where we're just trying to get to that last pit stop. But I'm telling you, once we get through that last green flag pit stop, it's all on to the end. And it'll be on the drivers to see if they can make it there. That fuel is going to be real close. And a lot of times, you run your tire with the fuel. So, you know, that tire is going to be near gone. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys are doing at the end of this one. Especially if they come back out of pit stops looking like this once again. As you see, J-Well attack to the inside of Clash and going to go back up for the help. It looks like MJ and Typical are going to stay on the low side with everyone else. As those two guys will be dropping back to the back of this pack. Hey, you haven't missed much. Just now got a good lead change here. It went from Clashing to J-Wow to MJ. Now the 23 gets in there in front of the 12. Just trying to get to that last green flag pit stop. Well, if it makes it to the green flag pit stop. I'll go over and get this lap count this time. Up to 201 comments, 18 people out here watching us. Greatly appreciated. Just remember to like the stream and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We do some great things here, even free diecast giveaways at some points. My lap count. Alright, so that time by, they had 24 remaining. So probably about 6 more laps we're going to see that last pit stop start to take place. And then we're going to come down to the money time. Who's going to try to take home the first race in Season 3? And don't forget, after the race, we have driver interviews. If you're interested in hearing what these guys have to say about what went down tonight, we will be talking to the top 3 finishers after the conclusion of stage number 3. So far, the leader was the winner of stage number 1, and the guy in second was the winner of stage number 2 on strategy. But that won't be so much the case here for this last stage, as maybe when you pit might be a factor, but all these guys kind of pit on different laps. Typical even, he pitted a little bit before these guys, and you see that he is in second. So not going to really matter as long as everybody has good clean pit stops coming up here in about 4 laps. So we have 20 laps remaining. You see some drivers getting down on pit road. J-Wow and Clashing into the wall hard going into the pit road is the 12. clashing with the wall. Unfortunate. Alright, so 4th place belonging to Hollywood right now. I couldn't tell if one got down or not. Alright, so a lot of guys already made their last stops of the race, feeling like they could make it. Unfortunately, I think. Alright, so we got that guy out. I think Innotown maybe lost his internet there, so we'll jump over to Billy. Appreciative of his stream. Alright, sorry everybody about the camera work there for the moment. Trying to get everything squared away. Still got the leader, MJ Brass, up front, right behind him was Typical, then Billy and Hollywood. Typical and Billy gonna shoot for the pit lane, and that leaves MJ and Hollywood out here. And looks like a lot of these guys were coming down to the end of their cars, so could see something between Hollywood and MJ here. A little bit of strategy. I imagine they might be going down this time. Hollywood does not go. Oh yeah, he is going to go down. Gets down real close to that 4. And yeah, that's interesting. Hollywood with well on the pit there on the. Oh, and he spins it, coming around, and that could have been a lag. That could have been a lag. Why does it keep doing that? That is killing me. You know what? If you wreck on pit road, I hope you didn't really wreck. Unless you hit the inside wall, I know you wrecked. Alright, so JWoww did pit first. So it'll be interesting to see who is going to take the lead. The 4 of MJ on pit road, I think, is the leader. As these guys try to go to catch him. Typical going to be out there. He pit quite smoothly. So let's see, MJ, there's your leader, and then Typical and JWoww are going to get around the 4 of MJ Brass. And here comes Henson. So a lot of cars trying to get around the 4 car here, but he will have that fresher tire. He's going to slow up a couple here in turn number 4, just naturally. Alright, so this is where the money time is. This is what I was talking about. Typical is your leader with 15 to go. I'm telling you, they're going to be stretching these cars right to their limit on fuel and tire. The 5 of Typical is your leader with the 23 of JWoww right behind him. JWoww pitting earlier with Clashin. Clashin getting into the wall, going into pit road, kind of ruined his strategy. JWoww, though, will be on that more worn tire towards the end of this run. Typical does have that advantage over him. You see Hollywood, he is going to serve. He probably did wreck coming. And I swear to God, I think he done it again. I swear I think he done it again. He was serving a black flag for doing that. It's done it again. Alright, Holly spin. Oh, unfortunately, we have more cars have exited the race. Well, everybody who finishes, you get 1 bonus point in the playoffs. Typical working on the lap traffic. I think the 4... I'm not sure what happened to the 23 here. I think he might have dropped back. Something may have happened. Hollywood done serving that black flag. Typical getting a little bit of help from Kenrod there. So that'll finish Hollywood's day. Unless there is a caution of some sort. But that is a lap car there behind Typical, kindly helping him along. As those guys behind him were trying to chase him. Got 9 laps remaining here in this one. Can Typical, of the back-to-back champion here in the Ruthless Racing Pro Series, take home the victory in the first race of Season 3? Fuel run is 18 laps. Yeah, somebody answered that. Thanks to everybody. So Clashin is going to be out here maybe just with that damage and stuff going on. He is going to just take it right through the grass and get the heck out the way out here. Brought to you by John Deere Lawn Care. Right, Typical, still your leader. Let's get back with MJ here. As that is your second place car. And Typical and MJ have been kind of dominant all day, and I'm telling you, Billy's been right there. He's been second, third, fourth. I mean, I don't think the man's dropped below or out of the top 5. Henson had a little issue there in the second stage, but mostly been kind of right up here with these guys. J-Well looked like he had maybe some kind of strategy going for him, but it did not work out, it seemed to be. But Typical, nonetheless, still your leader, and these guys are finally starting to catch him. So we're getting down to the last few laps in this one, and it could come down to a barn burner. It's 5 to go right now. Do have the burnout rule. All right, Typical is your leader. Got the lap car Kenrod helping them, but the 4 of MJ, along with some help of some others, they're trying to catch this 5 car and maybe spoil his first race of Season 3. It won't be a race sweep for anyone, as both the stage winners were different. We do have 4 laps remaining. And I'm telling you, these guys are catching. That is the 4 of MJ, Billy in the 99, Henson in the 18, and Tyler in the 1. That's Kenrod, the lap car in the 7, helping Typical along. But here in a minute, he's going to have to get out of the way, maybe to allow the rest of this top 5 into this race. So we got 3 to go now, and it's getting down to it. Typical trying to hang on as the 4 has caught the lap car Kenrod. Kenrod's going to break to the outside. These guys are going to file in behind Typical. Won't be able to use the outside due to Kenrod being out there. Kind of a blessing to Typical. But we have 2 to go. And it's coming down to the bumper. Let's get ready. Get on your feet. This is Season 3 of Ruthless Racing. 2 to go as they go down into 3 and 4 once more. And this, as they cross the line, will be your 1 to go, presented by Skew Car, as Typical is your leader. Will we have a photo finish here in the first race of Season 3? We are coming around the backstretch for the final time. We're protecting the bottom. The 4 of MJ Brass is down there. So is the 99 of Billy. What's going to happen once we get back to this front stretch? We're going to go overhead. To the outside is going to go the 4. Will he be able to get it done? Harvick and Gordon, shades of 2001, and it will be Typical with the win over the 4 at the line. MJ Brass just can't get it done over the 5 of Typical. You're back-to-back Ruthless Pro Series champion. Gets it done in the first race from Season 3. What a race that was. Your burnout rule now in effect, and it will belong to the 5. Your champion, Typical 30 RRS. There it is, the burnout by the man himself. Good stuff, Typical. Good stuff. Alright, so we will try to get those finishing results looked at. Nobody go anywhere as we'll get our top 3 in here for the interviews. There's Typical. We'll see him cross that line along with everyone else, and we will get that finishing order right here. Typical, MJ Brass, and Speed Clinic Billy Holcomb. 4th belongs to Henson. 5th to JWoww. Rounding up your top 5, Tyler, Alex, Big Ben, DK Brown, and G-Dog. Rounding up your top 10. Late black flag for Hollywood ruins his chances. But nonetheless, stick around. We will have Typical, MJ, and Billy in here for interviews if they so graciously bless us with their presence here in the booth. Everybody, please hang out. What a finish for the first race in Season 3. Much more of that to come here as the season goes on. Next week we'll be at Richmond, so you can imagine that aggressiveness on the short track. That would be amazing. So all 17 of you hang around. We'll get those drivers' interviews done. And yeah, we'll be right back. Thanks to everybody. Make sure you like that stream. Share with your friends. Subscribe. Everything is so much appreciated. Almost 1,500 of you have subscribed to us. It's amazing, unreal. Be right back with those driver interviews. For some reason I couldn't add somebody. Maybe because they's already in here. Not sure. Alright, so we got 20 people in here waiting to hear these interviews. Greatly appreciate everybody who has came through. Do either of you guys know if Billy's coming through?
Billy's on that alternate account. Oh, that's what it is, Speed Clinic.
Yeah, I think
he should be here in a second. Let me message him.
Alright, word. One moment, guys.
Here, I'll be right back. I'll go get him.
All right, cool deal. One moment, everybody. So we'll get these driver
Oh, there he
interviews
is.
underway. There he is. All right, so Billy, or otherwise known as Speed Clinic in these next gens, gets the finish in third. And I'm telling you, MJ and Typical were strong cars, but I'm telling you that 99 might have been the strongest car in the field. I mean, you never seem to float out of that top five any point of the night. Real good, consistent run for you, and I mean, unfortunately, from the eyes of me, unfortunately, seeing that 99 finish third was kind of a little bit of a disappointment from the way I saw it race out there. Just kind of walk us through your race, and what do you feel like maybe could have went different to result in a little better finish? Oh, they said they couldn't hear you, Billy. Sorry.
Come on, Billy. No, I'm just kidding. Go to Partio audio settings and go to allow your voice to be shared and always allow in the chats in the chat.
Yeah, I think you did it under the party tab. But for anybody that couldn't hear him, he was just saying it was like you gotta stay out there, stay in the draft, keep your nose clean, and he's fixing his issue. So maybe
All
we'll
right, I
get the.
got it now.
All right, here we go. Man, tell you yourself.
So, stage one, there, I was just kind of just trying to stay in the draft, just try to put myself in position to get a good stage finish here. Got linked up with Mike there and pushed him to stage one victory, I believe. And then second stage, just got off strategy a little bit. Didn't have no drafting help or anything. Kind of got left out there, and I think I finished like P6. And there at the end, I was just trying to find somebody just to stay out a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. And I think Mike happened to stay out one time there, and I got hooked up with him, and then we pitted off sequence again, and then he came out right in front of me, and I was like, well, if we can just get hooked up, I think we can just drive to the front, and we pretty much I think that was Henson behind us. We had like three or four cars right there, maybe three cars, and there at the end we just kind of run out of laps. I think we kind of caught Typical right there at the wrong spot, and we couldn't really couldn't make a move. And car was solid, and I'll take P3.
Yeah, man, you all were definitely in a real good line after that last pit stop, and I believe, like you said, just a bad spot in the track where the lap car got out of the way, and it was just in the turn, and y'all just kind of had to single file it up and figure it back out. But like you said, great run there for you in that 99, finished P3 as always. Thanks for racing over here with us, Billy.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Yeah, and then we'll go over to MJ Brass finishing in second, but getting stage number one, and I'm telling you, he put the move on him on the outside, shades of Gordon Harvick 2001, but not able to come away with it. I mean, just a strong overall performance out of that four car tonight. Just kind of walk us through what was the strategies, long runs here at Atlanta to get to those required pit stops, but a little bit of strategy in those stages, and then just trying to keep it all together at the end.
Yeah, I mean the first couple stages, wasn't sure how they were going to play out exactly. A new leading is going to hurt you, and I think I ended up winning the first stage, and when you get the lead with a couple laps to go there, it's just you run around the bottom the whole entire time, and or else it's just going to be chaos. So, and then I think second stage, I thought I was in a good position, and Typical had a hell of a strategy where I think he did two tires or something like that, or did a splash of gas and was able to get us there, and then yeah, that final long stage there, the final stage was I didn't know how that was going to play out. I thought I was in the best situation possible with Billy behind me, but Typical got a lap car behind him for a couple laps, that was able to kind of, he could run pretty good laps, and we weren't catching him as quick. And like Billy said, we just kind of ran out of time there. And by the time we caught him, I mean, you're not, everybody's been racing you clean all day. There's no reason to, get in hot or try to punt somebody up the racetrack. So just tried to salvage what I could and get to his outside there and make it interesting. But overall, it was a great race. I was really happy with the etiquette that everybody raced with. I mean, it was really impressive tonight.
Yeah, first race of season 3 here. I mean, you all probably put down that could possibly the second, maybe the third closest finish in Ruthless racing history, only being second or third to a few finishes last season. So, I mean, if that's any precursor to what we're in for here in season 3, I feel like we're in for a great time, and great to have you here with us at Ruthless Racing, and appreciate you racing.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, and congrats for the win there, Typical.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, so that was your 4-car MJ Brass, and very strong cars, stage 1 winner, and finishing second. And then back over to a man that really doesn't need introduction here, as he comes off another championship season by taking the first race of the year at Atlanta. Pretty stiff competition out there this year, it seems like. Typical. Pretty tough race, a lot of strategy came into play for, the stage win and the final win. What was it like out there, and what was you thinking when you saw that 4-car to your right side at the end?
Well, at the end, I knew I had it in the bag. I didn't think he would pass me on the outside anyway, so wasn't really worried about that. But I seen that whole pack. I'm like, if I leave this bottom, I'm losing 4 or 5 positions there. So it kind of held my line on the bottom. They kind of caught me going into a turn, so it wasn't that bad. But the first stage, I was riding behind Billy and MJ. Come to the last lap. I tried to get that one more position around Billy. Couldn't get it. Second stage, pulled off a good strategy. Didn't know if it would work. I kind of took the strategy away from the Pro AM, where Motorsports took no tires at the end, and kind of just added it because he proved that it's possible. So I did it. The third stage, I had a really good pit road entry, and I short pitted, so I gained so much time on pit road, and I was able to catch up to Kenrod, and he pushed me for a couple laps, and he kind of slowed down the 4 cars behind me from running me down. So yeah, thanks to Kenrod, I don't know if I would have won this race.
So is that your shout out tonight? Is it to the old Kenrod?
Yep, it's my boy.
Yep. That 7-car did give you some pushing there on your bumper, and I think he did help you quite a bit, especially once he jumped out of line. He kind of, took away the only position that group had to get around you. So I think old Kenrod is in order for a good shout out. Nonetheless, congratulations, Typical, starting off season 3 with a win. And you'll be at the top of that points board, at least for this week. But next week, on to Richmond. Short track, a lot more room to bump and get away with it. What are you thinking about that one with this group?
There's going to be a lot of people going for that win. That's all I know.
Sounds like it's going to be right to me. Well, as always, thanks for racing with us, Typical, and congratulations on another win.
Appreciate it, bro. It's a good way to start the season.
I agree. All right, and to everybody else out there, all 14 of you still with us, greatly appreciate you all. Make sure you tune back in next Tuesday as we start with the Pro-Am at Richmond, and then that will translate same bad time, same bad channel, 9 p.m., Ruthless Racing YouTube channel for the Pro Series. So a lot of short track action next week. I think we're going to see maybe tempers flare a little bit. See some bumpers get a little crumpled. Never know what's going to happen here in the Ruthless Racing Series. But tonight was an awesome spectacle that we got to see on track. Literally, Typical says he wasn't worried, but he only won by the front of the car. So, he can be what he wants to about it. He can be, I guess, confident, we'll call it. But, yeah, nonetheless, started off season 3 to a great note. Thanks to all the guys that have showed up and raced. Had the largest field in Ruthless racing history, not starting out with 18 drivers. So greatly appreciated. Thanks to everybody, even the fans. As always, remember to rock on, race on, Ruthless Racing.